de Matteo on Onlyfans.
And she said her bank account went from $10 to or more than she owed the bank for her house out of foreclosure in the first 5 minutes of posting one picture.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Good for her.
She's got to have.
Team Drea.
Yeah, we are Team
Yeah,
Drea over
support
here.
them. Just curious, like Italy, Italians, like, do they like throw down for St. Patrick's Day? Like, I don't get to Googling and stuff, and like they do a lot of parades. You know, like the Leaning Tower,
Yeah.
it'll light up green.
Yeah.
I want to go.
It sounds like a good time. They throw down,
Yeah.
and that's cool.
Ciao, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Hardcore Italians podcast. We're going to be going over the blogs of the week on our site. But before that, as you guys see, there's espresso here. I was thinking we start a new tradition for the podcast.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
And take a shot of espresso to get rolling. So
I think
Sounds
we
you
all
guys
do.
didn't even ask questions. I think you were all down.
Yeah.
Bella, you were like, as long as I get my sugar, I'm
as
good.
long
So-
as the sugar's in it, I'm fine.
But here,
Yeah.
my question is, do we down it at once or do we sip it?
Do we take it like a real shot?
Gee.
Do we take it like a shot?
I don't know. I feel like people might give us some flack if
Okay,
we don't,
let's-
but
okay,
at the
fine,
same
let's
time.
salute.
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 Oh, so
divine. Divine.
This espresso seriously is so
Is it
good.
salute or salute? Do I say it wrong?
I don't know.
I
Maybe
don't
I'm
know.
saying
Salute.
it wrong.
I mean, it
Salute.
depends. I don't know. People are all. I feel like people are nuts if you say, like, we could say it the English way or the Italian way. It's
I was gonna say because I've heard both, but I don't know why I say it that way. So I thought I was saying it wrong.
yeah. I
was
mean,
gonna tell you
E
guys to
in
correct me.
E in Italian is A. Like, so I
Right.
guess it'd be salute. But
Right.
I don't know. I don't mind when people say it the English way. We are in America too,
Right.
so it's like
Right.
I don't know. I never
Tomato,
get butthurt.
tomato.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. But Bella, so you're the most active blogger here, so you want to kick off?
Yeah. All right. So starting off with the first blog, or like the most recent one I think that we wrote about, was Drea de Matteo on OnlyFans.
I
Oh
love
my
her.
God.
I love her.
Love it.
What a story.
Yeah, seriously. This one was pretty interesting because, I mean, me and you were sending reels back and forth, and I hadn't heard about it. She first told me about it at work,
Yeah.
like, I think one last week.
Whenever her page 6 interview dropped, I was
Right.
like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and we were talking about it, and I don't really understand why she did it, if I'm being, not that I don't understand why she did it. I was Sopranos wasn't paying her, or she was saying something about like she wasn't making like enough money to feed her kids or something.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, at the time, Sopranos got popular like now. I mean, it was always
Right.
popular, but like
Yeah.
it even blew up harder now, and probably just
Right.
the way it was set up in
Yeah.
perpetuity probably isn't that good. I don't really
That's
know.
true.
I think
Yeah.
that there's, like residuals and all that. It's probably just like a
Yeah.
very interesting debate between the internal people.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I respect the reason why she did it. She said that she was really struggling to like feed her family or something. So honestly, respect to that. Like, feed your kids. I kind of love that about her. I mean, I do love that about her, not kind of.
Yeah, she's so gritty. She's just like, I
Yeah.
don't care. I need to put food on the table, whatever I need to do.
Love it. And she's making, what did we say? $850,000 a month based
Yeah.
off of this.
Yeah.
That's
Damn.
probably more than any
Full six
episode.
figures.
Yeah, seriously, she's making bank.
She made a good move there,
Yeah.
for sure.
My
Yeah.
thing is though, is she I don't think she gets like super, like, I don't know. She keeps it kind of PG on there though too, right? It's not like super
Yeah, I don't think
hardcore
it's-
stuff.
No, I don't think it's anything like that you hear about like some
Right.
OnlyFans girls doing. But
Yeah.
I mean, even if she was like, yeah, feed your kids. I understand. Like, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes, I guess.
I know she named the channel like Sopranos with like a smiley face.
Oh,
Like
did she?
the like semicolon with the I was like, okay, love
Okay.
that.
Yeah,
Okay.
good for
Gets
her.
people in.
Yeah, she's been like all over the media recently too. She was even speaking on like the mob wives thing. That was another thing
Oh
that
my
you
gosh,
sent me.
yes.
Like the whole mob wives aesthetic. Like,
Mhm.
what did she say, Gianna? I don't remember.
Well, they were asking her questions like, what would a mob wife do in this
Oh, yeah.
instance? What would a mob wife do in this instance? And her responses were really funny. Like somebody was like, what would a mob wife do between 9 and 5 in the day? She's like, well, mob wives don't have jobs. So
They don't have the 9 to
we
5.
aren't doing anything. We're cooking.
Yeah.
But I like that she like kind of swayed it more away toward like the mob wife stereotype and was like, no, we're not working, we're cooking at home. Like
Right.
I think it was an interesting spin on like
The
kinda-
typical,
yeah,
like
exactly.
the typical notion of what maybe the mob wife is,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah,
Yeah, she's like the expert of it for sure, and she deserves a bag. I feel like.
oh yeah,
And
100%.
100%.
To read one of her quotes, she said, "OnlyFans saved my life 100%. I can't believe I'm saying that, but it really did save us." And she said her bank account went from $10 to more than the bank, or more than she owed the bank for her house out of foreclosure in the first 5 minutes of posting one picture.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Good for her.
She's got to have a
Good
lot of
for
people
her.
on
Shout
there.
out to Drea.
But yeah, she's cool too. We sent her some merch before, and she took like a video and like showed it. So she's really nice.
Yeah, she's really cool. We're team Drea.
Yeah,
over
we are
here.
Team Drea over
support
here.
that.
And she like made the whole show. Like she was
Yes.
one of the best characters on Sopranos for sure.
Anytime I watch Sopranos, I was like, when is Drea come on? I loved her character so much. I loved her.
I can never watch long-term parking, like that episode. I can never watch that. I can never watch it. It makes me so sad. But yeah, her character.
I'm
was
guessing
like,
that's the one where it's Silvio or whatever that whole.
long-term
Yeah.
parking. That was I think that's the name of it. But yeah,
I
that
love how
was
you
a-
know the name of the episode. Like,
because I can't watch it. It makes me so sad.
I'm surprised you're
Yeah.
not like season 3, episode 5, time 4.
You
Like,
see, I don't know that. I don't know that off the top of my head, but she didn't deserve that. She didn't deserve that.
I know. And after, I feel like the show was way better with her on it. Like after,
Yeah.
it was. I mean, it was still a good show, but
It wasn't the same.
yeah,
it
exactly,
wasn't-
it
It was
wasn't the
not the
same.
same.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, 100%.
I
But yeah.
definitely missed her. See, I definitely missed seeing her on my screen once she was off. For
Yeah.
sure.
Well, that's why I'm happy that she's like kind of back in the media again, kind of setting shit straight. Like, you know what I mean? Like she's kind of
Yeah.
said, like, I did this to feed my kids. Like, I'm not doing this for any other reason but for my family. Like, you know, like maybe not everybody's gonna agree with the whole OnlyFans thing, but like that's pretty gritty of her herself to like,
Yeah.
you know, do that for not only for herself but like just for her children and for her family's sake.
Yeah.
That's a hardworking woman right
Well,
there.
that goes back to the Italian morals of just like doing what you need to do to
Yeah,
survive and give your kids everything.
for sure. I mean, especially if they only had like $10 in the bank account, that's deep.
God
yeah, I'm
bless.
kind of
That's very deep.
surprised. Like, I mean, that show's so popular. I'm surprised that like, I don't know, something's messed up there that she's not getting paid just off the show alone. Like,
100%.
I binge watch it like 3 times a year,
Yeah.
so I don't know. Like everyone's watching it and it's on the streaming, so I don't know what the deal is, but
Yeah.
Now
It's
I'm
crazy.
getting like curious with like residuals. Like, what would that look like? Why? What brought her to that point where like she was like, I need to do OnlyFans? You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah. I
It's-
mean,
it's an interesting concept. I know we don't know the answer. So
no,
it's
we
just-
definitely don't. But she was also saying something about like how people are like prophesizing off of like the James Gandolfini
Yeah.
stuff that's going on with like the
Yeah.
with the auction or something, right? With the booth being
yeah, I was
auctioned
just pulling that up too. It's I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of Sopranos blogs this
Yeah.
week,
Yeah.
coincidentally,
off.
but
100%.
she's had a comment about that and it was negative. Or what? What are they
Yeah.
doing? They're selling the booth.
So yeah, so basically the second blog that we're going to touch on today is the Sopranos booth being auctioned off, and
Holston's.
how much was it going for? Do we remember?
It sold, I think, last month for like 82,600.
Jesus Christ, was that the booth that he got killed in?
It was
Yeah.
the final booth.
It was the final
like the
booth?
final scene with the final, and they sold it with the plaque that says
Res-
booth reserved for like Soprano
Oh,
family.
Okay,
So I think that was like also like such a cool aspect of it too.
that's crazy.
Because that was like on the wall, so they had to like cut it or something. It was, I don't know. It was-
Oh, really?
yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Drea was saying like I think towards this topic particularly, like people are just prophesizing, and it's like almost like let those who pass rest kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like instead
Yeah.
of making like
Mhm.
people are just always focusing on like trying to get the dollar and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But
What's crazy? It's like they're making money and all this other stuff. Meanwhile, Drea's not even getting paid. Like,
exactly,
exactly.
exactly.
you know,
Yeah.
like people are making money on the booth, but like
Right.
she
Right.
can't even feed her kids.
Right.
And she's
Yeah.
got $10 in her bank account,
$10 in the bank account.
but the booth is
crazy.
going for 82,000.
Right,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
The restaurant said that they were renovating, and that's why. And they just like basically wanted to like cut it out and like sell it because
So
it
they
was such a
cut the
big piece
booth
of
out.
history. Yeah.
Oh.
I feel like people would go there just to see the booth, though. So I don't know how.
Yeah.
how
That's
A lot
what
of
they
people
said.
in the comments on the post that we posted with the collab with the Italian blogs and the Hardcore Italians page. A lot of people were in there like, I used to go to this place just
Yeah.
to see this booth. Like now, like it takes away like that personal connection.
That's what
I
I'm
feel,
saying. They
too.
probably would get 500 people coming in a week just to
Yeah,
see the
yeah.
booth or something,
No,
especially as it gets
100%.
popular. So that's kind of a crazy move. I'd like to know more about like why they decided to sell it, but
Yeah.
you
I
know,
don't doubt the renovation will look gorgeous, but
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what happens after the renovation and like that piece of history is
Yeah, well-
outside of the entity.
and
Mhm.
that whole last episode is like huge. Like people still debate it to this day, like what
Yeah.
happened in the last scene, and you know how Matteo comes through the door and it rings and stuff like that. So I'm surprised they're renovating it. I mean, I get it. Like, it's a business, you got to renovate, but at the same time, like,
It's
I mean,
yeah.
every part of
iconic, like-
every part of that like restaurant is
Iconic,
just iconic.
right?
Yeah.
Now that they announced that, or now that they said that they're selling it and renovating, I just see so many Instagrams of girls and just everybody going and saying one last time, sitting in the booth before like
Really?
everything gets, yeah.
That is crazy. That is so crazy.
Why do you guys think all these years later it's blowing up? Like, I don't know if it's as popular as it's ever been, but because I know back in the day, my parents were like, what was it, Thursday came out or something like that?
I remember watching it with my parents.
Yeah.
My parents telling me to get out. I was too young to watch it, but I remember
Yeah.
like certain scenes. Like I remember when I rewatched it for the first time, I was getting like deja vu from when I was like a little kid,
Right.
seeing my
Yeah.
parents watch it.
That's what I'm saying. It was a big deal for our parents to like watch it every episode that came out. So it was
Yeah.
big in the day, but like,
Yeah.
is it just the streaming platforms or whatever picking it up and pushing it again? Like, I'm sure that happens with a lot of
I
shows.
have all of the seasons like on my Mac. Like I don't even have to stream
Yeah.
it. It's like, but I think that with new generations, like we got just so interested and like this happens even with stuff like that doesn't have to do with Italian culture. Just
No,
like
100%.
things kind of get picked back up with in the zeitgeist.
Right.
And I don't know.
I think it also has to do with like, I mean, anything to do with like Italian movies, and I think unfortunately like the mafia, like those have become like American classics,
Yeah.
not Italian classics, because I mean obviously I don't think Italians are still running around saying they're in the mafia or like
Definitely
whatever,
not.
you know, that's not really a thing anymore. But it's kind of crazy to think about it. I don't know if you guys ever think like, do you ever like reflect on the time period of like when the mafiosos like were like really going on? Like, can you imagine living during that time? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of insane how people like not the the government wasn't running us. It was like kind of like it was like the mafia.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's kind of crazy to think about that. I mean,
Especially Chicago, New York, stuff like
It's
that.
Right.
Vegas.
The big cities.
like
Yeah.
Taylor Street and stuff like that. Like that is so crazy. Like I took a class at school and we learned all about that, and it's like really interesting stuff. And I think people are it's crazy and it's interesting. It shows you so many different like ways of like how life used to be, and like
Yeah.
now it's just
Yeah, well,
completely
that's why
different.
too. There's like debate over the show and all the movies because as people say, and what I like about Sopranos too is they debate this within the show a lot.
Yeah.
Like how there's people saying it's not all Italian Americans are mafia. Like they say it in the show.
Yeah.
But because I know a lot of people hate on stuff that like glorifies the mafia and things like that. But
Yeah.
what I like about the Sopranos specifically is I feel like they touch on those topics,
Mm-hmm.
and also like if the mafia stuff was aside, it is a lot of stuff like we say and do.
Yeah,
100%.
Like, it
100%.
It
Yeah.
shows like the families and behind the scenes of it, and it's
Yeah.
like, and
Or-
it's that's kind of really how it was. Like there's these guys we talked to, they wrote the book Mob Adjacent, and he talks about how his dad was like around the mafia and like
Oh,
around
really?
all those guys that were in the mafia in Chicago, but like these guys were like normal guys. They would come to his house and sit at the table and like we're cool and stuff like that.
Right.
But like they would kill people and do crazy like stuff. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Shit, yeah.
100%.
But it's like it's kind of that's what I'm saying. The writing on it is just insane. Like it's I don't know. I feel like they hit every side of things. Like it's nuts. So
I remember one of this is definitely first season, one of the first episodes. I think it was Meadow that brought up Columbus Day, and Tony
Mhm.
just like goes off. He's like,
Mhm.
Columbus is Italian. He
Yeah.
started America. Like so, like
end of
it's-
story.
Yeah, end of story. Like that's the
Columbus was a
facts.
hero. End of story.
Yeah. So I just like I love how they touch on things that
Yeah,
you know,
even,
that are actually serious.
even
in
what's
midst of-
what's the thing with the telephone or something? They were like Alexander Graham Bell invented the
Yeah,
telephone or
Alexander
something,
Graham Bell
and he
is
was like,
Italian.
Yes, I
and he was
forgot
like,
about that.
yeah, it was like I don't know. It's so funny. They like debate. That's what I'm saying. The writing on it and what went behind it is like actually one of the best writing of
Yeah.
any show ever. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
just some of the stuff, like the conversations they have sitting with each other, are just hilarious.
Yeah.
And
No, 100%.
it's insane how good of a job they did with that show. So to me, it makes sense why it blew up again. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 100%. I think it also kind of like touches into like how it kind of like how that time like it destroyed kind of a lot of families, you know. I mean, how many times did we see like Meadow hyperventilating, crying to like she couldn't comprehend what was going on. She was finding out stuff about like it's just so
There's so many
they
angles.
nailed it. Like there's so many angles because it gives you such a different perspective instead of like maybe movies like, you know, like The Godfather where
Yeah.
you never see any I mean, you do see like obviously like the mom struggling with her husband
Right.
being shot and stuff like that, but since obviously Sopranos was a show and you
It's
get a
Yeah.
lot
like mainly
more-
the perspective of like
Right.
the capo or the boss or whatever
Exactly.
for Godfather or all
Exactly.
these other
Very
No,
interesting.
there was I was just watching a TikTok too. There's like this think a Mexican comedian that's been blowing up. And like he was just touching on I guess he learned when he was growing up that his family was in like, you know what I mean, the cartel and stuff like that. And he was like, the way he described it on the show, or it was the show Flagrant, and the way he literally described it is like, "Do you ever see Sopranos when Meadows in the car and she like learning stuff?" He's like, "That's how it was for me."
Oh my
so that's what I'm
God.
saying. It's like,
It's so crazy.
That's interesting to hear, like somebody's real life. That's like interesting to me.
yeah, I'll have to send you guys a
100%.
clip or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
but
no, definitely do.
it's crazy. But speaking of how it blew up and everything, that's I feel like that leads into the next thing too with PisanCon.
PisanCon. This was
what a name, by the way. That was
What a
that's
name.
genius.
Love that.
That's
I love
genius
that.
name.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of speaking with Nikki, the founder of PisanCon, for this event. So basically, it's an event that's happening April 13th to the 14th. And
Coming up soon.
it's just a big event. The main focus behind the event is to like obviously unite Italians, but it's not only exclusive to Italians. Like it's for everybody. Like he really wanted to emphasize like the importance of like having all cultures come, because you know, like you don't have to be Italian to be a paisan. That's their slogan.
I love that.
Or like I can't remember if that's it exactly, but
Yeah, that's
like
true.
yeah, like you don't have to be Italian to appreciate the culture, and I think
100%.
that's a really cool focus, especially for this event. Who like their main focus, I believe, if I remember this correctly, is to like get young filmmakers like to come in and like work together to encourage like networking, building new projects together and stuff like that. And like also I think kind of go beyond the mafia stereotype that we were just like talking
100%.
about.
Yeah.
Like, because you know, like when you think of like Italian classic movies and stuff, like you think of The Godfather, you think of like The Sopranos, obviously, but like I had the pleasure of like watching a lot of. Have you guys ever watched Iri Domani e Oggi? Or I think it's
I actually
Iri,
think I have.
Iri Oggi Domani. Yeah, with Sophia Loren.
Yes.
Oh my God, I love
I had
that
to watch
movie.
that for school actually.
Oh my God, I love that movie. It's
I
my
want to
favorite
start getting
Italian
into
movie.
all those movies.
Yeah.
I want to really
If you
start
need a
getting
list,
into
I
it.
got like
Okay.
I literally
Yeah.
I got you, because that was like I love that movie. I wrote a whole paper on it, and it's like, you know, like when I think of like Italian classics now, like that's kind of what I think about. Like when I think of
100%.
Italian American classics, like of course I'm gonna think of The Godfather and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But yeah, this is like a really cool event. They're gonna have like a lot of the Sopranos characters there. I think like Furio.
Yeah,
is gonna be there.
Furio.
There's like a whole list
Furio,
of people going too.
Catherine Narducci's going.
Yeah.
Who's already
Yeah.
Bucco's wife.
Right.
Richie Aprile.
Yeah.
Or yeah, I don't know. So
Right.
they got a few guys going for sure, which is cool. So you could see some of the
Yeah, for sure. I think they even said like Tommy DeVito is gonna be there too.
Yep.
So we
Yep.
got the we got like Italian sports athletes and stuff like that. That's so
like you
that's
said,
sick.
it's not all like mob movies and stuff. They're
Right.
getting
No, like we're going beyond the stereotype.
Any
a little
paisan.
bit. Any
Any
paisan.
paisan.
Any paisan. Yeah, but this was a super cool conversation, especially because like I feel like filmmaking and like how we're saying like how The Sopranos is blowing up, like how like certain movies are blowing up
Yeah.
again. Like filmmaking is kind of coming back a little bit, like old school, like how you remember like we always watch like our parents' movies. Like that's when the badass movies were coming out. Like nowadays I feel like we don't really get great movies anymore.
Yeah, we
I don't know if
don't.
you guys agree with
No,
that.
No, I agree.
Not
I
at all
agree.
anymore. It's
Yeah.
weird. You can't make like even Sopranos and stuff like that. You
You can
can't
never
make
make
that,
that
or you're
again.
getting canceled
Right.
immediately.
Yeah,
So I
exactly.
think that's probably why it's popular again. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I was gonna touch on too, like Bar Rescue. I don't know if you guys watched that, but I just blogged on that.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the show at all or anything?
I've never.
I know the concept.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they just came out with season 9. And something I was saying about like the filmmaking in it, like they involve so many Italians. I don't know if it's because we're just experts in so many different things, but so basically in Bar Rescue, they bring in people. So there's a failing bar. They're always going out of business within like 6 months or less usually. And John Taffer comes in and he's like, I'm bringing in experts and we're going to like, so basically Taffer redoes the bar, but he brings in experts and there's always a drink expert and a culinary expert, you know?
Cool.
Mm.
I guess the drink ones are mixologists.
Oh,
So
yeah.
so, like, I feel like every episode I'm watching, because I just like the show, they just came out with season 9, but I feel like every episode I'm watching, there's an Italian and, like, in some form.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's
love
what
the
I'm saying.
representation.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's what I'm saying. I feel like with culinary and even the mixologist, there's one Mia Mastrioni, her name is every
Yeah.
episode. I feel like she's
Yeah.
the right-hand girl, like, coming in with the recipes and stuff.
I
And
love
in the
that.
kitchen, yeah, there's one guy who's got like this huge Italian tattoo like on his whole bicep. Like they all are like, and the other guy too, Michael Ferraro, he's always saying they always like intro him as like his grandparents or no, his parents came from Italy, and that's what inspired like all his recipes and stuff.
Oh,
so it's
cool.
cool to see like, you know what I mean, the effect
Yeah.
of like Italians on the industry and on
right.
the TV show
Yeah.
and stuff too. So I think it's cool. Like Italians are everywhere, you know?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
like we've caused a lot of influence, but that could be like another pod because I got a lot to talk about. With
Yeah.
the Italian influence in American society. That's
Yeah.
crazy nowadays. Like, and we don't even realize it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
I mean, I wish
100%.
we could go to PisanCon. I wish we were able to go this year
Are
because
you
I feel
going?
like that'd be awesome.
I might. I'm talking to the guys. I don't know. It's a little bit back to back with
Yeah.
this other trip I'm going on
Yeah.
tomorrow. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
I
yeah,
might.
that's right. That's right.
We'll see how it is. We're gonna be involved for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think we're kind of working out the details though. But you know, hopefully I'll go to this one. If not, I'll go to like the next one or something. They want to
Yeah.
do. I think they want to do like multiple year and even do different cities and stuff like that. So I'm sure I'll.
One in
Awesome.
Chicago.
Yes.
Let's do it. Let's get
Yeah,
that
I think
going.
I think they
PisanCon
want to
going to
literally.
Chicago.
So
That would be amazing. I
Yeah.
mean, I would go. I mean, if
Oh, yeah.
if I like could just
All the
dip
Chicago
to New Jersey
Italians
really
would rally. Everybody
Yeah.
would rally.
quick, that'd be sick. That'd be sick. I would
Exactly.
really like that.
do you want to touch on St. Patty's Day at all?
Yeah.
How
I know
that
you're-
chick was Italian.
Yeah, that's I wrote that blog. I wrote that blog last night because I was just curious. Like, I was like, do Italian Italy Italians
Italy.
like do they like throw down for St. Patrick's Day? Like, I kind of was just curious, and like we were like talking about like scheduling the blogs and stuff, like what kind of content's gonna be coming up like in our meeting and stuff. And I was just like, like everybody knows the traditions. Like, when you go downtown, you're gonna see me with the Italian flag running around. So
Right.
like, I mean, I'm gonna be problematic, and like I feel like not problematic, but representing the same way other Italians are. But then I was like, do Italians like do they celebrate? So I'm get to googling and stuff, and like they do, like they throw down,
yeah.
and I love it. Like,
Do they wear like leprechaun stuff?
yeah, so I was actually looking up the fits too. A lot of people who were like studying abroad on TikTok were like filming it and showing it and stuff. Like a Chicago night, like you're gonna wear like your white jeans and like a green crop top or a nice like Irish rugby sweater, stuff like that. Like they wear the same fits with like the accessories and stuff. You want to be a little extra, they do that. But they were saying that there's like a lot of parades, and they're very similar almost to the Chicago ones, where like like the Leaning Tower, it'll light up green.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know that
And the
they
Coliseum too. I'm looking at your
Yeah,
pictures now. Yeah,
Right.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
That
it's
is
super
awesome.
cool. And like I think it's like also like there's like Irish bars in Italy. So like those places are like bombed with people. Like, you know what I mean? Like the pubs are like busting with people. It just kind of seems like Italians are like still like they're
St.
comfortable.
Patrick's
Yeah,
Day.
well-
They know.
Italy. What a concept.
Yeah.
I want to go. I want to go.
It sounds like a good time. They do it in Florence. There's like a big parade in Florence, Milan, Rome.
Oh, so north.
Pretty relatively, yeah.
Oh.
But there was one more. I kind of forget what it was. I think it was Milan and stuff though. But they throw down,
Yeah.
and that's cool.
Yeah, and I
That
heard
is
too,
awesome.
just I asked Francesca a lot of these questions in our Italian lesson,
Right.
so
Yeah.
you could always bring it up next
Yes.
time too.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
I kind of asked like, how do they what do they celebrate down there and this and that, and she says like every year more and more it's like aligns with American holidays and like they like adapt to American culture. Even they say weekend for weekend now. Like
Oh, really?
a lot of influence comes from America with a lot of holidays and a lot of events, and what like it's crazy how we impact
Right.
other countries and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So.
Yeah. I mean, the videos looked lit, honestly. I would, if I would have known, I probably would have planned that out a little bit better for myself to celebrate.
Only 8.5-hour flight, guys.
Yeah, I was
Never
gonna
looked
say
at-
that'd be cool to go there
Should
and
we
show
do
it
a
around.
hardcore
Hardcore
vacation?
That'd be cool. Did they do anything for St. Joseph's Day, or I don't know?
That I do not. I'm sure
should
they
look
do.
that
I
up,
haven't,
too.
They have to,
done my
right?
research.
Because that'd be
on
cool to
that.
be out there for both and see like you know.
Yeah, definitely.
So
Yeah.
we'll have to check that out one year for
Yes.
sure.
Yeah, no,
I'm down. Any
definitely.
excuse to go to Italy. I mean, I think
100%.
we got to take it up if we can. So
Have you guys been? You guys haven't been.
Never been.
no,
Right.
still no. Have you?
Yeah, no. We're planning to go next
Oh,
year
we're all in
though.
the same boat.
So
Love that.
yeah, planning to go next year. I'm super excited.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna go
No.
visit the mother towns. So
Yeah.
I'm excited.
No, me
Oh,
too. I've kind of been
jealous.
waiting for like, when we get married to go like on our honeymoon there and take like a month. So
Oh,
if
that'll
I-
be
so
awesome.
Yeah, I've had some
nice.
opportunities to go like the past couple of years, but we're kind of just like saving it in.
Busy,
Yeah.
no,
Well, yeah,
for
busy
sure.
too, and it's money and all, but it's I don't know.
Yeah, no, for sure.
That'll
No.
be special though, like as the honeymoon first time to Italy.
Oh yeah, like what
Yeah.
a great memory. That'll be amazing.
Yeah, my one buddy's like, you want to go? Because me and one of my best friends, his birthday's literally like a week after mine. Like
Oh,
on the same,
okay.
like it's on a Tuesday the week after. He's like, hey, for our 30th, you want to go to Italy? And Marissa's like, you better not frickin' go without me, like in our honeymoon. Like I want to experience it the first time. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
we'll see.
She
You know.
knows what's up. I would be mad.
She
I'd
does
be
know
mad
what's
too
up.
if my boyfriend wanted to go to Italy without me. I'd be like, no, how about no? Yeah, that would be amazing though. Where in Italy or where in I know you're Calabrese.
Yeah,
but
Cosenza, Calabria. So I want to
Cosenza?
go. Yeah, I
Oh,
want to go check
cool.
all that stuff out
It's like
too.
the beach town. Like that's
Yeah,
really cool. That's
Exactly,
awesome.
but I gotta go just so people stop going like,
Yes.
you've never been to Italy and you run hardcore. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
right.
So, but to me, you know how we are with the values and stuff
Right.
like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
To me, it's all the values. It doesn't matter,
Yeah.
because I always think about how many Italian Americans actually have the chance to go to Italy. It's expensive. You know what I mean? Like
expensive, yeah.
you need time off. So it's not like an opportunity.
It's not like a weekend like trip. You gotta.
Yeah, no, 100%. You got to plan. You got to like take off work because like in Italy we don't get a month off if we want to.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
or in Europe, like in America, you got to really like figure it out and like take time and like it's a process for sure.
Yeah, well, that's what I think is like, when our grandparents or parents came here, they didn't have money. That's why they came here,
Right.
So how often did like our grandparents say like, oh yeah, go to Italy, here's 10
Right.
grand and take a
Yeah,
few months
right.
off. Like they worked
100%.
every day constantly.
100%.
So to me, it's like, I don't want people to ever think it's important to be like, you have to go to Italy every summer to be Italian. Like
Right.
it's the values that the grandparents gave us
100%.
is what they cared about. They didn't say be a crap person, but if you go to Italy every year,
Right. I
Right.
mean, if you have
You're
the
golden.
privilege to go every year, that's amazing. But not everybody
Yeah.
has that.
Yeah, well, they
privilege.
say any opportunity you have to connect with your roots, and that's why it's fun to learn Italian. That's why it's fun to
100%.
like be involved with the page and talk about stuff. But if you can go, like all my cousins who go and stuff, they say like you're just like it's so beautiful, and you're like you feel connected, and you'll like cry when you get off the plane.
No, I
And
don't doubt
I
it.
probably will cry when I get off the
I don't
plane
doubt it.
the
Yeah.
first time.
it's crazy. So
It'll be very surreal. I can imagine for you.
Yeah.
Whoever goes first, record the
Yeah.
reaction when they land. Record it and send it in the group chat.
Yes.
Yeah. See
Yeah.
who goes first.
But I don't know. The goal is to take some company trips there eventually. I think we can make
100%.
it happen down the road.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We got to keep it growing, maybe get a nice sponsor.
Sounds
Yeah,
you
we're
know,
good.
cut out for us.
Seriously. Let me get on that really quick. Yeah, that's awesome though.
Yeah.
That'd be a cool experience. You get cool videos for Mag Italy too.
Oh
Send
yeah.
those to me. I'll
Oh,
get those
yeah.
going.
Great
Yeah.
content from
Great
Italy.
content.
Oh my
Yeah,
God, it'd
the
be
food,
such
Italian food
Yeah.
daily.
such good content.
Yeah.
You
Uh-huh.
know.
For sure.
So we'll make it happen one of these years for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll check us back. We're uploading every Sunday now, so we're being consistent. So we have a few in the bank, so I'm confident saying it at this point now.
Yeah.
But be
Yeah.
patient with us. We're upgrading the podcast area and stuff. If there's anything you guys want to see, let us know. Be involved in the process. Tell us what you want to see, like anything with the set, anything like that. Drop a comment if you relate to anything. Give us a like and subscribe. It means a lot. And we'll catch you on the next one. A dopo.